Hello, WhatCulture, it's me, Simon Miller, and before we do anything, there's two important things that I gotta say. One, look how tired I am. Look how tired I am. What idiot decided to stay up for NXT WarGames? Who did that? It was me. Secondly, I don't think I've ever done an ups and downs for NXT before, and my gosh, what a way to start, or what a way to kick it off, or what a way to just pull it out my, I don't know, rear end. Can you pull a video out your rear end? Probably hurts. Forget about that. But seriously, what a great show this was, and if you do watch this before WWE Survivor Series, what the hell is the main roster gonna do to try and top this? I don't think they can't. Try and top it. Get it? Cage didn't have a top. WCW WarGames, that's a niche reference. Let's move on. Let's up some downs. The first match straight out the gate to kick all this off was Kassius Ohno versus my friend Lars Sullivan. And we're going to get to you, Lars. We're going to get to you. I'm going to run down your match, and then I'm going to get to you, but let's get it up. Sullivan took the win after he hit the freak accident on Ohno. And the really cool thing here, the thing that you never see on their main roster anymore, aside from like Braun Strowman all those years ago, is that Lars Sullivan is treated like an absolute beast. Like no matter what Ohno did, no matter what he tried, Sullivan was just like, yeah, think that hurts me? It doesn't hurt me, because I'm an old school classic monster wrestling guy, and you can do whatever you want, and I'm just going to shrug it off. But it was great, because that builds him. It's the guy you want to see, because you think, I want to see that guy that can't get hurt. He's like Frankenstein's monster or something. Even when Ohno did get some offense in, all that did was wind Lars up even more. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do to this guy? If I hurt him, that makes him want to hurt me more, and I can't hurt him to begin with. Fans love this, I love this, I imagine you love this. Well, some people didn't, I saw on Twitter. But still, each their own, I thought it was great. However, Lars, when you walk into the ring, I see you doing this. I see you smacking yourself. Where'd you get that from, pal? Huh? Huh? And Minnie up as well, because then the camera did cut to the crowd. And who was there? That's right, UK talent Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, and Mark Andrews. And it was just cool. It was just cool as a UK guy, who by the way is currently trying to train to be a wrestler. Just as an aside, I looked at that and thought, look at those guys, they must be over the moon. World at their feet, great stuff. And then we got to match 2, which was Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. My word, that was really good as well. Up. Now first and foremost, I want to shout out the Velveteen Dream, who basically came out thinking he was Rick Rude. He had pictures of himself all down his tights, and I love that, because the best thing about wrestling is when old things become new again. Unless I've forgotten, I mean maybe Dolph Ziggler did it at some point, and I can't remember. But still, the fact I can't remember is good. So what I hope has happened here is the Dream thought, you know what can I take from the past that new fans won't get and it's cool, but old fans will understand and still think it's cool? And he did this. I think he's a great character. I think he's going to do really well going forward, especially if this match is anything to go by. I mean, Aleister Black won here, but the two had a barn burner. This really is one of those matches you need to go out of your way to see, because not only was there plenty of back and forth action, but they had all these sort of crazy, silly spots that you may not expect from these two, but they worked. Like they stole each other's moves, they stole each other's movements. There's a lot of hip swiveling going on, and the fans bought into it hook, like, and sinker. I mean, it was just a really fun, really entertaining, but also damn good, hard-hitting pro wrestling match. If I had 8 boxes, I'd tick them all. Black did eventually win, but technically the Dream won too, because after the match was finished, Black finally said Velveteen Dream's name, which is all he ever wanted. I mean, probably not now. He lost the match, now he's probably thinking, why the hell did I just want some dude to say my name when I could have been spending a lot of my time concentrating on my wrestling skills and getting better? That's neither here nor there. 2 out of 2 for NXT. We're 2 matches in, and it's 2 out of 2. And a little spoiler, it doesn't really ever go downhill. Following on from this was the 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship. And we had Peyton, Royce, Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Ember Moon. Once again, they went and tore it down as well, which is my catchphrase. My catchphrase for all of NXT is, they tore it down. Also followed up by, the fans loved it, because the fans really did love it. And can you believe it? Ember Moon is your new NXT Women's Champion. Now, while this match didn't go very long, the amount of moves the 4 women were able to fit in the time they had was borderline ludicrous. There was kicks, suicide dives, suplexes, a running blockbuster, and they basically just kicked the absolute wazoo out of one another. We even had one of those stacked up suplex things, and someone does a powerbomb like sunset roll off the top, which always looks good. And basically the way this match ended was, it seemed like Kairi Sane had it in the bag, and Ember Moon, who was like a sniper from afar, she got in there, she hit the Eclipse, she pinned Nikki Cross, and that was that. Oscar was there as well to present Ember Moon with the belt. It was another feel-good moment, and like, even though 3 women did technically lose, they didn't lose, because everyone here was just, they were just great. It was just great. Say it one more time, it was just great. So obviously all that women's stuff up. Then we had what was probably the biggest shock of the evening, but there is a story with that, where we did see Drew McIntyre take on, wait for it, this is always my worry that I ever thought I'd have to do in NXT Ups and Downs. I cannot say this man's name. Andrade Cien Almas. They fought for the NXT men's title, and unbelievably, Almas won, but it's getting an up. Now, basically what happened is this. After McIntyre had missed a second Claymore kick, Almas took advantage, he went to the top rope and he hit his hammerlock DDT, and then he won. And he won 1, 2, 3. When you were watching this, especially after the match, when McIntyre had to be helped to the back, you were like, something has clearly gone very wrong here. Maybe this didn't follow the script. And that does seem to be the case, because the rumour now, the speculation, the dancing fairies that are running around telling stories are saying that apparently Drew McIntyre tore his biceps. Now, I've only read a little bit about this, but it also kind of sounds like he tore both his biceps. Now, that's probably not true, it probably is just one. But either way, a torn bicep will keep Drew McIntyre out for months, and he must have known that when he was in the ring. So maybe Triple H did call an audible backstage and said, look, this sounds terrible, just let Almas win the belt. Because let's face it, before this, I cannot believe that Almas was ever going to win the belt. Now, obviously, all our best wishes to Drew McIntyre, who we do hope is okay. But aside from that, the match itself was great, especially the way that it built. In the early days, towards the start of the match, they were avoiding each other's big moves, they were countering everything, and they were using that energy they had to make sure that neither of them got the upper hand, and then that just stacked on top of each other until we were getting these huge moves like the ones I mentioned at the start of this little ups and downs segment, where they're doing crazy stuff off the top ropes. As you'd imagine as well, Vega got involved from the start of the match to the end of the match. She was getting in McIntyre's face, she hit McIntyre with a Hurricane Rana, and at one point where it looked like McIntyre had won, she put Almas's foot on the bottom rope. So maybe this wasn't the case at all, and maybe Almas was supposed to win. They did use everything here very well, but I doubt that. This kind of felt like, I mean, saying that, would you do that? Would you make such big of a call when you weren't 100% sure what Drew McIntyre's injury was? Maybe I've been worked into a shoot here, brother. Either way, great match, surprising champion by the end of it. That makes it all good, and that's why it's an up. Which brings us to the main event of the evening, which was WarGames, the match which was taken from WCW. Now, while this was a WWE take on that concept, I don't give a damn, because my word, what a fantastic match this was. So what I'm going to do just quickly is I'm going to read you the rules, because while it does all make sense when you're watching the match, they are a little bit crazy. And if I just run them off the top of my head, you'll be like, Simon, what the hell are you talking about? So, the rules are thus. One member from each team starts with the other team members locked in shark cages. We love those. After 5 minutes, the remaining 2 members of one team gets to enter. Then, every 3 minutes after, the other 2 members of the other teams enter. And finally, you can only win via pinfall or submission, and if anyone leaves the cage, they forfeit the match for their team. Now, you probably already know that this was the Undisputed Era versus Sanity versus the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong. But what I'm not going to do here is just run through it point by point. And here's why. This match was so good, and this match was such an up, and it had so many highs and lows and twists and turns and surprises, and got your adrenaline pumping to such a degree that I'm going to implore you to go out of your way to see this. It genuinely is just crazy. Some of the spots they do, Killen Dane just pulled it out of the bag and he was doing coast to ghost from nowhere. We saw a crazy suplex off the top of the cage. A suplex off the top of a cage, and just seeing 2 rings and 2 huge cages that came together into this one massive cage on a WWE show was crazy. And if you were a WCW fan like I was, this was just kind of cool, even if it didn't really follow the same concept and was more of the name WarGames than anything else. And what I really loved about this was how they did bring the structure of that concept back. So you do have the opening part of the match, and you have the second phase, the third phase, and then you have the match beyond, and that all builds, and it allows different things to happen, and it allowed everybody involved to tell a specific story, because there's a structure here, and it's different. It's not just a match of one guy versus one guy, which is fine, but there's different periods, and within those different periods, you have different objectives. It was a bit like a really cool video game. And because random teams did arrive at random times, it's such a good way to get heat on the bad guys. I mean, the Undisputed Era got in there really quickly, and they just whooped everyone. Now, obviously, we love those 3 guys, because of course we do. They're indie darlings, but that's not the point. It just works so well. It allows for a completely different type of storytelling. I hope Vince McMahon watches and go, man, I take everything back. We got to get this on the main roster. It did end when the Undisputed Era's Adam Cole kneed a chair into Eric Young's face, and this is one of the best main events in NXT history. I mean, maybe I'm not thinking about that and that's hyperbole and it's over the top, but either way, it was fantastic. It was great. You should go out of your way to watch it, that's why it gets a massive up. I've just realised I haven't given one down for the entire show, which we never do, so for balance's sake, Lars Sullivan, you're getting a down because you stole my shtick, man. I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to whoop your ass. You'll probably whoop my ass, but a man's got to try. It's a down. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and probably say something like, I can't believe Simon's so positive about NXT, blah, 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 blah. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com, read some articles, follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and remember to breathe. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and I'll see you tomorrow for Ups and Downs for Survivor Series.
The killer in you is the power in me. Pleased to meet you, so good to see. The killer in you will keep me alive. Back to back, self-sacrifice.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to subscribe below, and also the people who made this video, they're right here, so go and follow them and give them some love. If you want to see more content, there's probably some stuff flowing up above my head. Why not check it out? It could be fun. I'm not your dad.